Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, John the House Guy, here with my lovely co-host,
Kim the Homegirl.
and this is the House Guy and Homegirl podcast, where we try every week to bring you relevant information about home building and the real estate market. And this week, we're going to give you 5 New Year's resolutions that every homeowner should make.
You're listening to the House Guy and Homegirl podcast, a podcast about real estate and real life. As realtors, home builders, and real estate investors, John and Kim keep it real. Former teachers turned real estate professionals, they have a heart for helping others. Join them each week as they discuss all things home. And now, here's your hosts, John and Kim.
What's been going on with you, Kim?
All right, so we are wrapping up Christmas and all the things. Yes.
Great pun. Bring that pun back.
Spending time with family and our children and just kind of having some downtime from school, which has been awesome.
It's been great, yeah.
Really, I love this time of year. I think back to when we were both teaching and that last day and those kids, we've always had an early dismissal. That was my Christmas present every single year. I mean, I love it. I loved it. But there's just something magical about it. Early dismissal, knowing you don't have to be back for 2 or 3 more weeks, and just wonderful. So I hope that you've also had some time to spend time with your family and reflect and, all the things that are.
Yeah, now we're looking forward to a great get started off on the right foot for 2024. Right?
Yes, and my big thing is, y'all, to me, for whatever, I'm a little I've got some I don't know, what is it? It's just something that we always say, if we don't do anything on New Year's, if we stay at the house.
Oh, it's like a superstition at this point. Yeah,
yes.
Man.
If we stay at the house, it's going to be.
If we don't do anything for New Year's.
If we don't do anything for New Year's, it's not going to be a good year.
Yeah, we just stay home and watch
Ryan
Seacrest and drop the ball and go,
right.
Woohoo!
Woo, yeah. And
our year sucks every time we do that.
A movie, order a pizza, basically just watch the clock. It's like the starter of a not good year. And it's not that we didn't have a good year, but there's some things that have happened this year that's ugh.
It's kind of like you can got something to blame it on, right?
Yes, I broke a vertebrae in my back, which I'm still recovering from. I could just let go down the list of things.
Jimmy Buffett died, though.
Buffett.
So we're definitely going somewhere for New Year's.
This New Year's. So in a couple of days, we will be headed somewhere. I don't know where, if it's only just for...
Yeah, it won't be here in this house, I can tell you that. If we go out in the Wilson Dam Road.
So I don't know how you feel. So drop us a comment if that's kind of if that's our superstition. If we do something for New Year's, it's usually a good year, and which is so crazy. But let's go ahead.
It's just an excuse to go somewhere
and
do something fun.
But
yeah,
it's not, because we've been together. This will be our 20th year to be married, coming up in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
20th
right.
year.
Mm-hmm.
And we were together 5 years before that. So,
I'm a survivor.
Yep,
I'm not going to give up.
Emmett's going to graduate this year. I'm sure you've got, your milestones with your families and things like that. But this year, this show, we're going to close the show out in 2023 with 5 New Year resolutions that every homeowner should make. Go ahead and grab a notebook and a pen and just jot down some of these things, because if you are a homeowner, or primarily a homeowner, because a lot of times, if you do rent or you have an apartment, maintenance will take care of a lot of these things. But if you have a homeowner, that kind of falls maintenance and just, keeping up the home really apply.
Some are good for everybody, though.
Yeah, some of them are good.
Yeah.
Now, looking back through, some of them are good.
Everybody can do number 1.
Yes, number 1, John.
Declutter and organize.
Yes.
Right? And that's probably the number 1 New Year's resolutions for a lot of people. Lose weight, get rid of a bunch of junk, start saving money, eat healthy, all that kind of stuff. People start doing
declutter.
But declutter and organize. It's a great time of year to do it. It's a new, fresh start.
Right.
You can find, after Christmas, all the totes and tubs and storage items and stuff come out in the stores, and they're usually running good sales on those, and there's abundance of them.
A lot of deep cleaning supplies are sold. You know, if you look in Walmart, you know, you've got the tubs and the organizational things, and then you've got the Lysol and the mop liquid and things like that. You know, it's just like, woo, it's all clean, because we as humans thrive on cleanliness and organization. And those are things that, you know, that go with the start of the year. We want to be more like that. And, you know, as humans, it's sometimes hard to, I mean, like, you have to you have to make a conscious effort.
Commit to it, you know, and I hate the word New Year's resolution. I like to say commit to it. Whatever it is, you're going to commit to it, not do a resolution, because usually by the end of January, those are out the door, right?
Right.
So if you commit to doing something, declutter, deorganize, that may take you several months to do it. You know, like that book that we read, that Life-Changing Magic or Joy of Tidying Up, the
Marie Kondo
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That takes a long time. That process takes a long time, and it's drawer by drawer and cabinet by cabinet and room by room. You know, take some time to do that, you know, and it's hard to do it. A lot of times if you have time off work, you do it the holidays, you're trying to just basically enjoy it, but at the same time, use that time to get a good start for the year by decluttering and organize some things that you've had on your list.
And if you're like me, when I think about that, you know, Marie Kondo and all that, and like, I think my mind goes like, I can't do it all at once. So like sometimes I just kind of shut down. I'll do it later. Well, eventually later, like, you've got to do it at some point, or it will, you know, start to smother you with all your clutter. But I have found that with our busy lives, if we'll keep a basket, you know, like our kids have a basket in their room, and if they have clothes that don't fit, it goes in that basket. If they've got, you know, things that they want to get rid of, it goes in that basket. And then I'll, you know, put it in a bag. But also big black construction bags, you can get these at Sam's for cheap. Also found that is a really good declutter strategy, because you'll go through and you'll get all this stuff that you want to donate, or, you know, and you put that in a bag and you put it off to the side or whatever, and then you get enough and you take it to wherever you want to take it, the donation box, Salvation Army. And then you also get a bunch of toys and things that you think your kids can live without, and you put those in a bag as well. And you may put it in the garage, or put it in a closet or the attic or something. You know, like, they may ask for this and they may want to play with this again. But I mean, I pile that bag.
Yeah, and after a while, if they don't ask for it,
it's gone.
It's gone.
And so, and then you and actually you will totally forget what's in that bag. And so those things have always helped us. Basket, donation bag, and then a bag that, you know, you're not real sure of, you can hold on to for a little bit. But and then also you want to get into organizing your house. Yeah,
one thing too, along those same lines that we've done before, is at the start of the year, take all the clothes in your closet and turn the hanger around. Turn it around backwards. And then when you get to summertime, everything that's still backwards, it needs to go, because it's been cold and it's been hot and you have not chosen to wear that piece of clothing. Take it to somewhere and donate it. If you want to have a yard sale or something like that, do that. But get it to someone who can use it. You know, get rid of it because you're not using it and it's just causing you stress and anxiety in your life because it's cluttering up your space.
Yep. Declutter and organize. Number 2.
Home maintenance schedule, right? It's time to get on a home maintenance schedule. It's really important. And a lot of times we neglect those things. We just get busy and we forget. You know, take a minute, you know, take 20 minutes at the beginning of 2024 and get in your phone and make a note of all the things you need to do. You need to change your air filters. You need to, I got some lists here. You need to clean out your dryer vent. You need to,
and that's not talking about in the dryer. You want to actually, like, they make several kind of tools and things that you go, you know, where the dryer vent's outside of the house. You can take the little, most of the time it's like a removable vent. You take that off and then you clean in there.
Yeah, or if you have a flex hose on there that connects it, you want to take all the lint out of that because you can cause a fire with that, right? So put that on your list. A monthly walk around. You know, every month walk around the outside of your home and just look at the roof and see if there's any kind of damage to the shingles. Check the screens and the windows, and just once a month walk around. And when you've got all that in your phone, everything that you want to do for maintenance for the year, then schedule it. You know, tell tell Siri or whatever your smartphone device is, whatever you use, hey, remind me every month on the first of the month to check my air filters for my air conditioner, to do my monthly walk around, to clean out my lint trap. Another thing you can do on home maintenance is all these partial cans of stuff that you've had for a long time, like if it's a partial can of paint or a partial can of bug killer or a partial can of plant killer or something like that, weed killer. Get rid of that. It doesn't have the same potency that it had when you bought it. If you've had it for more than a year, it's not really going to do the job that it says it's going to do anymore. Go through maybe once, in the spring, once in the summer, and just discard all that stuff. Just get rid of it because it's in your way. Develop a cleaning routine and a schedule. You can say, hey, every week we're going to, tackle the bathroom. And then the second week we're going to tackle this. The third week of the month we're going to do,
Actually, I read a blog about that. A lady had put her entire year on a cleaning schedule, and and she actually down to the day, like every Monday, every day had a job to do, and then every month you had different things, and it just really created just harmony within her home. Everybody was peaceful, and I mean that's not to say that nobody's going to fight and all that, but you know what I mean. Like you knew, like your house stayed clean, everybody knew what they were supposed to do. Basically, it's like you want to develop a curriculum for your home as far as a cleaning curriculum, you know, and a maintenance curriculum as far as that goes. Also, a really good, a way that you can set up that monthly walk through or walk around or whatever you're doing every month, try to make sure that it's on the same day every month. That may help, like our bug guy comes once a month he comes on the second Monday of every single month. And that is from here on out, unless his schedule changes or something like that. And so I always know that he's coming in. So I always mop my floors the day before, or the day of or whatever. I know that that's going to take place. And that's something that you could do as far as like a walk around, every time the bug guy comes, make sure to walk around the house.
Just check some things that you're not, a lot of times, especially in the wintertime,
right?
We don't go outside very much. And so you're not going to notice things about your property like, oh, I didn't know that fence was, loose right there, or that gate's just sagging, or that shingle's missing. And that's how long,
and when you're dealing with home things like that, prevention is key because, you've got to, sometimes it turns into intervention, but you don't want it to be disastrous. Like most of the time, if you, fixed a leaky faucet, a couple months ago, it wouldn't have turned into a full blown leak. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just really prevention is the key to home maintenance and cleaning and things like that.
Yeah. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? They say that all the time. So, as you're developing that, look ahead too on your schedule and think about all of your outdoor equipment, that you're going to have to use in the spring. The worst thing, and I hate this too, like you get ready to start mowing and then you got to do all this maintenance too.
You go outside and your grass is high,
mm-hmm. It's already like got ahead of you, and then now, I got to fix this. I got to do my oil change on my lawnmower. I got to sharpen my blades.
You've got to spend 3 hours of just, running here and there and here, and then the sun's already down.
Yeah. So by putting that on a schedule and saying I'm gonna think ahead,
right?
Towards the end of February, early part of March, I'm gonna go ahead and get my service done for my lawnmower and all that.
Don't
kind of
forget
stuff.
your small engine items around your house.
Yeah, all that little stuff.
Make sure you buy weed eater string and weed eater oil for your your gas or
mm-hmm.
whatever that you put in. You may want to go ahead and purchase another gas can if yours is broke or leaks, or just tidying up for outdoor equipment and things that you need, because we like to be outside when it gets warm.
The next thing on the list I've got on here is this is a really smart thing to do, a home insurance review.
Okay?
So what you want to do at this time of year, a lot of times we set it and forget it on our insurance, right? We call our insurance agent when we change and buy the house, and then years and years and years go down the road, and we've kept that same coverage. And the next thing you know, well, now your house has gone up in value, and then your insurance is still that old coverage, right? So if you were to have a catastrophic event like a tornado or a fire or something like that, well, you've been paying insurance for a $250,000 insurance policy, but your house is worth $350,000. Now you've got $100,000.
Yeah, you're kind of what they call upside down on your insurance.
Yeah, right. You're going to be in a hole. So really, it's a good time to
especially now, especially since our area has really went up. I took a big tax assessment increase because I know for our house, I think it went up like $75,000 just this past tax assessment year, and so you may want to just go and contact your insurance agent and see how much insurance you're carrying on your house.
And they have a formula they can plug in. They have all kinds of great software that they can use that says, okay, your house, to rebuild your house in its current state, it would cost this much money, and you're covered at this much. Make sure those things match up. Another thing to do.
And it's really not, it's really not as far as like adding more money monthly. I'm not an insurance agent, but like to add more money, like you can add thousands of dollars, but it monthly is only it only equates to like 10, 20, 30.
Oh yeah. I think I called one time about, and this is a different thing, but it was like, well, it was when we had the house with the pool, and it was like to have $1 million coverage for an accident like that was like $4 a month, and it was like, well, I didn't have any idea that was that cheap.
Right.
But if something would have happened, then
right.
You wind up losing that kind of money.
And those are things that you don't think about, but as a homeowner, those are things that you do need to think about. And New Year's, the first of the year, is a great time to put that on your list and review.
A good insurance agent will help you with that. And another thing to do is this: we always are getting new items in our house, right? New pieces of furniture, new pieces of electronic equipment. A good idea is to have a good walkthrough video of your house and its contents, right? Because if you had a catastrophic loss of fire or something like that, it's going to replace your contents, So you need to know what you have, right? So a good walkthrough video of every room, just to scan and say, here's what's in that room. Because if you had a fire, you had to remember all of that stuff, right? So having that walkthrough video saved in the cloud somewhere would be good.
And also you can choose how much coverage you want. For personal
you pay
liability.
for content liability. Yeah, you pay for content coverage, so make sure your limits are there that cover.
Yeah, and then shop rates. Sometimes places get out of whack and they need to be in check. Sometimes
that's true. Yeah, it's a good time to shop your insurance if you want to do that.
Now we're completely content and happy with
and if you've had and here's the thing to think about too. If you're going to shop that around, if you've had a loss that's been covered, right? What was that process like? Mm-hmm. And, with our insurance agent, we are absolutely, completely satisfied because every time we've had any issue with a rent house or even in our home, we got it. We'll cover it. It's done. They send an adjuster out. We don't have any problems. So
we had some insurance. For about 10 years, and a little over 10 years ago, we dropped them because we had never had an issue before. We
didn't have any rental properties at the time or nothing like that.
Nothing,
just our
and
home.
we went to file a claim on our roof, and it was like pulling teeth to get them to fix it. And
ultimately, they didn't,
and they did not.
Yeah, we had to basically wait around, and then we had another storm event. And they covered it the second time, right?
But
we had like every roofer we had out there said we had damage, and we didn't. We should have been no problem.
And we had never had a claim before, and so we shopped around. But it was a blessing in disguise because we came upon the people that we use now, and they're terrific.
Absolutely. So speaking of fire or tornado, catastrophic event, something like that, it's a good idea for number 4 on our list is to have an emergency kit and an emergency plan. Work on that. New Year's a great time to do that. Sit down with everybody and say, hey, if we had a fire, where would you exit? Where would we meet up? All right. If we have a tornado, where's our safe place in the house? Where do we meet? Where are we going to go from there?
Everybody in your home needs to know where everybody stands on that. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to know. They don't need to wait until there is a fire or wait until there is a tornado or, some kind of catastrophic event. Everybody needs to know what to do, what to get, and where to be. Okay. And those things are different places. If you have a fire, it should be somewhere that everybody knows what to do outside, where to meet up so you can count heads, tornado, or any kind of storm. John is real big on get your shoes on. And
Yeah. I don't know how, like, you didn't, like,
I miss that growing
if there
up.
is a storm, all right, here's a key point. First thing, get your shoes on, because if your house gets blown away,
At 2:00 in the morning, I don't want to put my shoes on.
Put your shoes
I'm
on.
going to put my flip flops on, and you're like, that's not really shoes.
Yeah.
But if you're stepping on debris, your house does get blown away.
yeah, you're
blown
standing
away,
out there
and
you're walking on
Yeah, he's
nails and boards and glass and all that, and you're out there barefooted like the Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Like, you can't do that. You got to have shoes on. That's just a no-brainer to me. I don't know.
But in all honesty, though, whatever your emergency plan is, you need to make sure to discuss that with your family. And the new year is a great time to go ahead and make sure that everybody knows what to do, where to be.
Good idea too is to have, a cell phone charger, a radio.
A radio. We keep a radio in our.
Just like an emergency preparedness kit. You need to have one of those in your car. If you have an emergency, you need to have one of those in your home. So it's a good time to go through and just check that you have those things. If you carry like in your emergency preparation kit, if you have a battery charger for your car and it works for your phone, make sure that it has charge on it. So if you have an issue, right? If you have flashlights, make sure they have batteries in them. Your radio that's going to work. Even if the power goes out, your radio needs to have batteries in it so that it works. Just a lot of different things to consider there. If you
Honestly, and this is kind of like, this is not really tech or energy wise, but put some cash in your car. You never know if a card reader machine is down, and that's an emergency. As far like if you can't give somebody your debit card and they be able to, you tender whatever you're wanting to buy or whatever, it's held up on that card, or you forget your debit card, or you run out of gas. Who knows? You may need cash whenever. So that could be also in your emergency plan. But nobody really ever intends to have an emergency or a catastrophe. It just happens. So make sure that everybody
they are not
knows.
scheduled events, right? They
are
happen.
not scheduled events.
Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct.
So a good time. That's a good time at the first of the year to just go through your emergency plan and your preparation for that with everybody
and
in
if
the
you
family.
are in the market to build a house, it's always good to talk to a builder about a safe room. I don't think we'll ever live in a house without a safe room again.
Yeah, we're in Tornado Alley down here in
We
North
are.
Alabama.
And
so-
that safe room, it's not. I mean, it is. It's somewhat of an expense. I think it adds about $7,000 to
It
the
depends on
total.
what room you put it in and
Right.
how much,
But it's it's just a peace of mind too, that we know that, we get in that safe room and lock that door, we're good. We're not worried about looking around. Do we have, did we cover our heads, or did we, are we away
the only
from a
thing
window or
that we're really concerned about in there is listening to that radio that we have
Right.
in there. And then when they say all clear, you can come out.
you can
right?
come out.
So,
Number 5. This is the
finally.
last one.
yeah, number 5, it's a good time of year to review your home's value, how much equity you have in your home, right? And that goes along with your insurance review that we talked about, so make sure you have enough that's going to cover that. But also we talk to so many people who are getting ready to sell their home, and you say, well, how much do you owe? And they're like, I don't know. Like, well, how do you not know how much you owe on your home? If you just kind of part way try to know what's going on, once a year, call and get your mortgage payoff. How much money do you owe on your home? How much is your tax appraisal for the year? Those come out generally here in, October.
You really need to keep an eye on that, especially if you have an inflated, what is that called? When your interest rate, fluctuating interest rate, you really need to get a review or a statement on, what you paid in for the year as far as interest and what you paid down on the principal, the actual home's loan, the mortgage that you have on that. And so kind of keep an eye on that. And especially if you have, I cannot think or talk today, but if you have an interest rate
An adjustable rate.
that changes, really keep an eye on that, because you may want to refinance when the rates come down. I don't even know, knock on wood, anyways, in the months to come. But that may be something that you want to plan for in the future. But also, that's if you don't know how much you owe on a home, you really need to, kind of wrap your head around how much of a debt you're looking at, or how much, little you owe. You may be almost paid off. But yeah.
Yeah. And another thing to do is this, a lot of people put that on automatic, and they just don't think about it. That's monthly payment that goes out. And then you say, well, what is your home's value, right? You're getting that tax appraisal. Is that fair or not? A good thing to do is talk to an agent, right? Talk to a real estate agent who can tell you, okay, because a lot of times people get ready to sell their house and they're like, well, I've got this, how much my payoff is. I owe $250,000, so I guess the house is worth $250,000. Well, it may be worth $400,000,
right?
And you need to talk to somebody.
Your tax assessment may or may not be $350 or $450, or
could be way out of whack, yeah. And so talking to an agent who can tell you, hey, here's what houses are selling for in the area right now. This is how much you can expect to get if you sold your home. Not to say you have to sell your home, but
you need to be in the know.
Just
on
know
your mortgage.
Home's value.
Also, when you get the report, when you call whoever your mortgage, you're paying your mortgage to, because that gets sold a lot. You may be paying it to one bank or one institution, and then it gets sold. But make sure if you're paying your property tax in escrow through your mortgage payment monthly, make sure that property tax is being paid. You never know. You may think it's escrowed and you may think it's paid, but just always double check at the courthouse. I know one of our rent houses, there was a number that matched up with somebody, and when I would go to pay for the property tax at the end of the year on this one particular house, they would say, well, it's paid for. I didn't pay it. They're like, no, Miss Wright, that's paid for. And what had happened was the number, that was one number off as far as some kind of PIN or
parcel
something.
number, yeah.
And they were not, the escrow company was paying this particular parcel on, the mortgage or whatnot. And then they were paying it towards mine and not the person's.
They were paying the taxes on our property versus who they were supposed to be paying for, right? So always check that. It's a good idea to make sure you
because
do.
Somebody can buy your property and own the rights to it by just doing a tax sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep up with all that. So if you'll just do these things, declutter, set yourself a home maintenance schedule, do a home insurance review, have an emergency preparation plan, and review your home's value and worth. I think that'll be a great start for 2024. You'll feel much better about getting some of those things handled, and hopefully set you off on the right foot.
Right. And New Year's, the first of the year is just a great time to tackle those things. And, we get a revived energy, and, a lot of times, we're off from our jobs and we have a little extra time. So yeah, take that time and go through these 5 steps. And I think that will create some peace for you, and it will definitely put you on the right foot to start your 2024.
Yeah, here's hoping that you have a blessed and happy new year. Thanks so much for tuning in with us all year this year, and we hope to see you back here in the future. See ya.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks for listening to the House Guy and Home Girl podcast, your #1 source for all things home. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out our YouTube page for video content from the show.